Call to order the City Council meeting for City of East Grand Forks for Tuesday, January 17th, 2023. Would City Clerk please call roll?
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Council President Mark Olsted.
Here.
Council Vice President Tim Riepel.
Here.
Council Members Clarence Vetter.
Here.
Ben Pukshavinsky.
Here.
Dale Helms.
Here.
Brian Larson.
Here.
Karen Peterson.
Here.
Those term quorum, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Open forum and opportunity for members of the public to address City Council on items not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be referred to staff, boards, and commissions for research in future council agendas if appropriate. Anybody here like to address the council? I do not see anyone. Approval of minutes for January 3rd organizational meeting, January 3rd council meeting, and January 10th work session.
Move.
Moved by Riepel.
Second.
Second by Larson. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pukshavinsky.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Scheduled bid lettings, there is none. Scheduled public hearings, there is none. Consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda will be adopted with one motion. However, council members may request individual items to be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion and action if they choose. Anyone want 4 through 7 pulled? If not, entertain a motion of 4 through 7, please.
Move.
By Helms.
Second.
Second by Riepel. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pukshavinsky.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Acknowledge of receipt of reports of officer boards and commissions, organizational and regular meeting minutes of Water, Light, Power, and Building Commission for January 4th, 2023. Regular meeting minutes of Cemetery Commission of May 4th, 2022. Regular meeting minutes of Park and Recreation Commission for October 19th, 2022. In the city financial statements of November 30th, 2022. Communication, there's none. Old business, there is none. We'll move on to new business. Number 12 is in pulled. Number 13, consider approving the request to start the hiring process for park maintenance worker for the Parks and Recreation Department. Move. Moved by Vetter.
Second.
Second by Larson. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pukshavinsky.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 14, consider adopting Resolution 23-01-13, supporting the authority to impose a local sales tax to fund the specific capital improvements, providing regional benefit for establishing 1% tax to raise $23,606,000 over an estimated 20 years and authorize the city to issue bonds supported by sales tax revenue. Is there a motion?
Move.
Moved by Riepel.
Second.
Second by Larson. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Helms.
No.
Olsted.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Vetter.
No.
Pukshavinsky.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 15, consider adopting resolution number 23-01-15, accepting and awarding a 2022 city project number 6, pedestrian improvements at Bigland Road to Tyzac Concrete, Inc., for a total of $293,453.85.
Move.
Who moved? Helms.
Second.
Second by Larson. Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pukshavinsky.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 16, consider approving the amended contract between the City of East Grand Forks and SRF Consulting for business consulting services. Is there a motion? Moved by Vetter.
Second.
Second by Larson. Questions or discussion? Mr. Murphy.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out to make sure that the council is aware of the amended contract that is before you tonight. There's 2 pages on there. There's the only 2 that were changed that are different from what is in your packet. Those were amended by Grand Forks. I did receive those late on Friday, so they were not able to get into the packet. So on the first page, it really removes all reference to locations and makes it more general, saying that the entity's support to pursue crossing or crossings of the Red River. And the other item that was amended was on the second page of that was handed out tonight, which is the addition of the City of Grand Forks County, and Polk County as signatures. There is some discussion that I've had with the city attorney regarding that, but as far as what's before you tonight, we recommend that you approve what's before you tonight in the form that it is, and we will be working with the other entities to flesh some of this out. So that's separate. I'll take any questions that you might have.
Do you have any questions? I know that SRF was contracting with East Grand Forks and Grand Forks, or just with East Grand Forks?
Originally was just with East Grand Forks.
So
correct.
if it comes down to SRF saying that they want us to sign this, is there going to be an amendment put on there that these people are also signing on, or?
I know Mr. Murphy's been in contact with SRF. The lead individual is not in the country. We're going to have to discuss that with him to figure out exactly how that whole contracting will go forward because of the additions.
So in anticipation that maybe they come back and, well, one way everything's fine, but if they come back and say, no, we want just East Grand Forks to sign, how would we approach getting the other three to sign?
Then we'll have to deal with it all with the Grand Forks and the other entities. Because at this point in time, I don't believe Polk County and Grand Forks has even met on this. So,
So in anticipation, we might have to bring this back again.
possible.
It's possible.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Roll call, please.
Riepel,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Olsted,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Vetter,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 17, consider approving the ordinance number 33, 4 series amending City Code Chapter 152 titled Zoning Code by adding subparagraph E to uses by special permit section 152.197 and adopting by reference City Code Chapter 1 section 10.99, which among other things contain penalty provisions. This is the first reading. Moved by Vetter.
Second.
Second by Riepel. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Olsted, Larson,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Vetter,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 18, consider approving a special use permit for Thomas Fife, is it Fife? Excuse me, for the operation of the Body Art Establishment Tattoo Parlor in the River City Walk Center, contingent upon the amendment of City Code Section 152.197 C-1, Downtown Commercial District, meeting all additional conditions of the required permit and obtaining license from the Minnesota Department of Health.
Move.
Moved by Larson.
Second.
Second by Riepel. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Olsted,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Vetter,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Move on to claims. Consider authorizing the city administrator, clerk, treasurer to issue payment of recommended bills and payroll. Moved by Helms. Second. Second by Vetter. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Olsted,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Vetter,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Mayor Gander.
Thanks, Mr. President. First of all, Charlotte, thank you to you and your people for going through the essays. There was a statewide Mayor for the Day essay contest, and then we received all of the essays that came through at the local level that went to the state, and we will go through, and Charlotte and her people have gone through now and kind of boiled it down to 3 for us. And perhaps Megan and I, if there are any other volunteers, we'll take the 3 and we'll prioritize them 1, 2, 3. And you'll hear more about that in the coming days as to how we'll recognize that local mayor for the day. Believe me, there are some days they could have this job as far as I'm concerned. No, just kidding, just kidding. It's a good job. I'm happy to have it. So thanks again, Charlotte, for going through and getting that initial work done. We really do appreciate it. Number 2, I'm excited about the ad hoc finance committee. I know that sounds weird to be excited about that, but I think you guys will set up our budget process very, very well. And of course, that'll include all of our staff. It'll include some good people. And just know then that our priorities are being established, and we'll just make sure that we spend according to those priorities. And whose priorities are they? The people, right? The people whose money we're spending. So just know as we go through this whole process, we will work really hard to make sure to carry your priorities into our budget as we always have. But this is going to be another unique time of making some decisions, and we'll work really, really hard again to operate within your priorities. By all means, we'll take all the feedback you want to offer, and it's glad to have it. Number 3, Reed, thank you to you and your staff and all of your volunteers for the many ways that you've had to kind of repackage, reframe, reformulate, reprioritize this recreation project that we're going to be bringing to the state. It's not quite as much fun when we've had to whittle it down with inflation and other factors. Basically, it's turning into some long-term maintenance items with, again, the features will be really, really nice to have. But I do want to thank you for the flexibility and, the perseverance that you've had to get it to this point. And I'm confident we'll get it through the state and bring it to the people to vote on it. And once again, I think when they see what's in play, how it benefits our whole community, they'll be happy to pass that. And then finally, the last item, Steve Emery Widseth, thanks again for, coming at this thing so many different ways for the improvements on 13th and Bigland. It's going to add a huge measure of safety for our kids. If we get this right, and I know we will, it's going to be a nice feature that, again, accomplishes a few things, most of which is just getting kids in and out of that school safely. And I do appreciate it. And then we'll be free to move on to some of our other priorities. So thanks again for getting us to this point with an approved contract to get that work done. That's all I have. Thanks.
Mr. Bitter.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Mr. Podjavinski.
Nothing today.
Mr. Riepel.
Mayor Gander always opens himself up to some fun times, but I'll pass on it tonight for you. Thank you.
Mr. Elms.
Thanks. Yeah, it's just nice to see this 13th moving on. We've been working on it for a long time, so it's nice to get that done and make things safer for the kids out there. So thank you.
Ms. Peterson.
On behalf of the Northern Lights Figure Skating Club, I wanted to say thank you to the Parks and Rec Department. I know that the change of date really had a significant impact on the amount of effort that had to be put forth by your employees, but it allowed us to bring in 187 individual skaters for the Northern Star, 137 for the Learn to Skate competition, and 17 teams for the synchronized skating competition. It was great. A lot of people came into our community, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I appreciate the team effort.
Mr. Larson.
Yeah, I would just kind of echo what the mayor and Councilman Helm said. Thank you, Mr. Emery. Your recommendation to reject the initial bids and rebid the Hawk project saved the city $83,000. So that is much appreciated. Thank you.
Just want to bring up a couple things. We're going down to St. Paul next week. I think it'd be great. Reed's going to be going with us to talk to them about sales tax. We're going to talk about childcare, talk about LGA. I was wondering with the daycare, if there's something we can bring and leave with them, the need for our local area, like numbers of the need. If you have that, if you can maybe pass that along to Megan and have them send it to us so we can put it together with the packet, especially with the sales tax, if we're going to do another pamphlet thing, one sheet, especially with LGA too. Be great to be able to talk to them, but also leave stuff with them so they can see it and hang on to stuff so that they know our need. So that'd be appreciated. So, Mr. Murphy.
I only have one thing. When the mayor was going through his items, he neglected to say that he was invited to say a few words for Senator Klobuchar, who was in town last week, made a visit and stopped at Bernie's. So the mayor was invited there and opened up for Ms. Klobuchar and welcomed her to the community. So that was nice. That's all I have.
Mr. Gulston.
A few words. I think he's the only one that talks more than me. Nothing else.
Mr. Emery.
I have nothing tonight.
Anything from the department heads? Mr. Gordy.
Couple of items tonight.
First, regarding childcare, on Friday, the Northwest Minnesota Foundation Board is scheduled to act on a proposal to create the East Grand Forks Area Child Care Fund, which will be one of the funds that the foundation administers. We're still looking for the $5,000 seed money, and contributions this week can be made through us. Make them any check out to the Northwest Minnesota Foundation. We will get it to them. Next week, you'll be able to contribute directly through the Northwest Minnesota Foundation. So that's moving forward. Second, the annual intergovernmental retreat will be on Thursday, February 16th. And that usually starts at noon, or 11:30 or noon. Third, on the Main Street Economic Revitalization Program, there is about a little bit under $40,000 remaining. So businesses or even apartment building owners that are north of the Red Lake River can still apply. The applications are made to the Northwest Minnesota Foundation, and the link is available on the city's Economic Development Authority webpage. So if you go there, it will direct you to the Northwest Minnesota Foundation. They will accept them. Mr. Larson and I will actually be working on the team to review the proposals that we already have in hand and any additional proposals that we receive.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else from department heads? I see none. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Moved by Larson.
Second.
Second by Vetter. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried and means adjourned.
I know. I thought about it.
You're sitting in that seat there.